Welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man and host. It's me, Ole Walls, and I'm back with you. Episode number 102. 102. I did not have a 101 this week. I had a 102. 102. First of all, just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate the support. I always say it. I'm having a blast doing this still. So thank you guys for watching, listening, hanging out, just supporting. I appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. As always, thanks to producer Kevy for putting it together for us. You guys know the deal. That housekeeping. If we could rate, review, comment, subscribe, share, helps spread the pod. Fun show. I'm rolling solo this week again. We're talking some NFL football, of course. We're talking. We have some fights to talk about. UFC 296, some upcoming boxing matches. College football talk a little bit, some golf in there, my passing thoughts, the Philadelphia Flyers. Got to talk about them. It's been going nice. Before we get to all that, though, you know the deal. Liquid IV promo here. You know the deal about it. All the different flavors. I'm a Concord grape guy. I also like it for the ease of the little package it comes in. You dump that into 16 ounces of water. Boom, bang, bang, boom. You got yourself some hydration, some high-quality hydration. The number one hydration brand in America. 3 times the electrolytes or 3 times the hydration of water alone. More than double the electrolytes of your leading sports drink brand. They believe in equitable access to water. They donate a ton of that. So here's what you do. You go to liquidiv.com or you use the link in the show notes below. Promo code OWH, O for Ole, W for Walls, H for House. Promo code OWH, 20% off, Liquid IV. All right, let's get to it. Well, let's just start with the Packers. The roller coaster ride of this year continues. Coming out of the 3-game winning streak with the remaining schedule, it felt like the world was our oyster. It has not gone the way we expected. You can say that almost about the entire season. Start off with a win over the Bears. Drop a heartbreaker to the Falcons. Pick one up against the Saints, Lions. Then, you lose a bunch in a row. Raiders, Vikings, Broncos, Lions. Just all that. Then, like I said, the 3-game win streak against the Lions and the Chiefs and the Giants. Or in the Chargers, only then to get to the stretch where, again, they're definitely going to be favored again next week. You have to imagine against the Panthers, but had they beat the Giants and then beat the Bucs, they would have been favored the whole way out. And even after dumping the game to the hapless Giants, the team that has allowed 30 plus sacks on Tommy DeVito in the last few games. They don't get a sack. Now, you move on to the Bucs. And Baker Mayfield absolutely shreds the Green Bay Packers. Maybe the game of his life. 22 of 28 for 381 yards, 4 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating. Back-to-back games. QBs have had career games. The defense was atrocious. They allowed 452 yards. 452 yards. Love wasn't bad. Wasn't great. He missed a couple of throws. I don't think his play was the issue today. I think he played fine. If you have a defense that is remotely capable, he played fine. I do think that the Packers offensively struggle as soon as they get behind the chains and, they don't have something like 2nd and 6 or less, maybe even 2nd and 5. But, if you're talking 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 10, so on and so forth, it's not good. It's just bad. Here's one, Aaron Jones, 13 touches, 53 yards. But come out of the gate with Aaron Jones, and he looks like gangbusters again. It's the old thing. They come out in the scripted 15, and they're working the run in, and It's working great. Jordan Love, 40 passes. That's usually not a recipe for success. I wonder how many passes he threw last week. Last week, 39 passes. It was 39 this week. I just kind of rounded up. What about when they beat the Chiefs? I think he threw a bunch that week, too, so this isn't really going to prove my point. 36. We'll just go back to the winning streak real quick here. 32 against the Lions, so a little less. And then the Chargers, 40. So, yeah, that kind of theory's out the window. But, yeah, that said, Aaron Jones brought something like an explosiveness that A.J. Dillon just can't do. Like I said, it was Jordan Love. He really whiffed on the fourth down on the first drive. He had a read out in the flat. Again, they end up getting the takeaway. The one of the good things the defense did. The defense actually started off looking fine. They held him to 3 after letting him trounce down the field on him. Got the takeaway, the strip sack, and then got a punt, forced a punt, and then all of a sudden just went to absolute hell. Absolute hell. But yeah, the Packers defense, it was atrocious. The offensive line was not great. Oh, God. You thought. I got sucked in. I got fucking sucked in, man. I knew it was good. I fucking knew it. I knew it, and I let it happen anyway. I told myself, not this year. No more. Rodgers is gone. We're not going to get sucked into that. The fucking Packers aren't going to let me down. First fucking chance. The first fucking chance I had to get sucked in and then henceforth let down by the Packers, I let it happen. Like, the first chance. Not even like, oh, let's give it a year and then I will, like, jump on the bandwagon. Nope. They won 3 fucking games. 3 games. And I'm in. I'm like, fuck it. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to surprise some people. We may even make it around. I'm a fucking idiot. What an idiot. Ugh. Jesus. Immediately got sucked in. In the post game, Matt LaFleur on the potential change at defensive coordinator. Now's not the time for that. Come on. And then Big Cat Bill Gardner sent me something. This is a good one. The Eagles are fighting for a number 1 seed in the NFC and just made a defensive coordinator change. What possible reason do the Packers have to keep Joe Barry around after getting embarrassed at home, after he got embarrassed on Monday Night Football? It's not even like Joe Barry's been good. Like, what year since he's been? When did he get there? What year has he been a good defensive? Like, what year have you been like, oh, man, the fucking defense is really good. He came in 2021. So never. They've never been good. They've absolutely never been good. Who was their defensive coordinator in 2019? That was like the only good year they had. 18 to 20. They were the 29th ranked in 2018. They went up to 15th in 2019 and 17th in 2020. And he got fucking canned. What's Joe Barry had the fucking... Doesn't say in his Wikipedia. I'm not going to just fucking hold it up. Maybe I will. Either way. Fucking Packers. God damn it. God damn it. I got sucked in. I fucking sucked in. Of course I did. Of fucking course I did. Why wouldn't I? I think there's still a slight chance they can make the playoffs technically. Have to win out. Like, for sure. I saw a thing. Hang on. Maybe I saw a thing. Let me see if I sent this. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Here we go. So they would have made the playoffs had they gone 4-0. There's still a 90% chance they can make the playoffs going 3-1, it says. That's losing to the Panthers and then beating the other 3 remaining teams gives the best opportunity. Losing to the Vikings but winning the other 3 games would be the worst at 90%. So there's still a real scenario they can get there, but like, do we have faith that this team beats the Vikings? I mean, or the Bears? Oofta. Oofta. Oofta, oofta, oofta. Yeah. All right. They've beaten me. They've beaten me down. Moving on. Okie dokie. We have completed all but 2 of the games in the NFL this week, week 15. We're about an hour from kickoff of Ravens-Jags as I speak now. and then Seahawks hosting the Eagles on Monday Night Football tomorrow. So you're not going to get any of my wonderful thoughts and analysis on those games. You're just going to have to do without and hope that nothing crazy happens that you would have needed my thoughts on. Big game for the Eagles tomorrow. I mean, they kind of got to right the ship just a bit. It feels weird to say that they have to right the ship. I believe they are still the number 2 seed. Yep, they're still the number 2 seed in the NFC, still leading their division. They get a little help as the Cowboys lose. Cowboys, and again, I know the Eagles have lost 2 games in a row, but it's to the 49ers and the Cowboys. The Cowboys who took that giant step forward when they beat the Eagles, now do seem to have lost a bit when they came up against the new look Buffalo Bills, maybe you could say, as they've they don't drop when they get their ass kicked. It was a boat race. The Bills put it on them right from the start, and it never looked back. I was actually trying to do both, record the pod a little bit and watch the games, and all of a sudden you look over and it's just like, holy shit, it's 21-3 or whatever it was. So yeah, not great. The Cowboys trip ups have been on the road this year. They lose in Arizona to the Cardinals. They lose at San Fran to the 49ers. They play a tight one with the Chargers. And then they lose to the Eagles and Philly, and now they lose to the Bills. It's not the total they haven't beat any good teams narrative still to be played out here, because the previous 2 weeks they did trounce the Eagles and then beat the Seahawks. Again, both those games were at home. So they get another road test next week when they go to Miami to play the Dolphins. Both those teams looking to add some quality wins to their schedule. Then they host the Lions, and then they end the season with the Commanders. So, the Cowboys just trounced today. Speaking of trouncing, the 49ers do some trouncing. Christian McCaffrey had himself a day. I haven't looked at his stats. Why don't I react to that live on the pod? Top performers. Christian McCaffrey. 115 yards on 18 carries, 3 touchdowns. What did he have for receptions? Oh, they don't want to show me. Game log. He also had 5 receptions for 72 yards and 2 more touchdowns via the air. So 3 total touchdowns. 5 so that's 18. 5 more points for 23. 72 is 30. 41 points, something along those lines in points for the week. Who has him on Fantasy League? I'm in. Ooh, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of cheddar. Does the team who has him not even in the playoffs? That's the next question. That is correct. The team who had him do not make the playoffs. He was the number 1 pick. His team is in the is getting a bye in the consolation round. We know about the Packers. The Falcons and the Panthers played a just barn burner 9-7. The Browns never say die. Joe Flacco never say die. He is he was slinging it. But that game, Darnell Mooney had a chance. The Hail Mary for the Bears, and he ended up on his tuchus, and the ball fell in his lap, and he was not able to corral it and bring it home. Yes, that one stings. The Saints keep pace with the Bucs. The Bucs obviously beat the Packers. The Texans keep pace in the AFC. They win an overtime game. The Rams hold off a surging Commanders team at the end. Not enough Scary Terry. There were also a couple Saturday games. The Indianapolis Colts Took down the Steelers. Despite Michael Pittman getting lit the fuck up and trying to ruin my fantasy, the Lions absolutely punish the Broncos. The Bengals hold on against the Vikings in overtime. And the Raiders, who scored a grand total last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? Were they off the week? Oh, yeah, last week, Sunday, December 10th, they scored a grand total of 0 points. On Thursday Night Football, they scored 63. They scored 42 points in the first half and added another 21 for good measure as they ran over the Chargers. Brandon Staley was politely asked to not return to the team. Dolphins hammer the Jets. There was scuttle that Aaron Rodgers could be cleared and play as early as week 16. I'm guessing that's not going to happen now that the Jets are out of the playoffs. If he does, he's a fucking G. The biggest G in a long time. If he comes back and plays in a game that means absolutely nothing in the same year that he tore his Achilles tendon. What else? The Chiefs, the weird game. They're only up 4 at halftime over the Pats. They end up kind of spreading the lead a little bit in the third quarter. Pats get a late touchdown, but there's something just still not right about the Chiefs. I know they're 9-5. I know they're still winning. They still got Pat Mahomes, but hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. That's just I don't know. There's just something not right there. I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough to tell you what it is, but there's just something not right. Ravens, Jags, I think that's not the most important thing for the Colts the Jags are still in first in the AFC South, but the Colts are right there at 8-6, and so are the Texans. So very important game for the Jags. Important for the Ravens too, because they have that half game lead over the Dolphins for the number 1 seed, and then the Chiefs are just 2 games back too. So important there. Eagles, we've talked about that. Seahawks are in this mess in the playoff hunt. They're 6-7, so moving to 7-7 would move them in with the Bucks and the Saints, who are fighting for the NFC South, and then the Vikings and the Rams there. Good win for the Rams today. The Packers, I think, are essentially. I read something they could still make the playoffs if they lost one more game. But I'm not really seeing that path. They are currently the 10th team in the division, in the playoffs. This coming week, Thursday, this is an important game. Saints and Rams on Thursday. Playoff implications for both teams. We got a couple more Saturday games. Bengals, Steelers. Important for both of those teams. The Bengals are, a surprise team still. There's no Joey B, but they are, in the playoff hunt as we speak. One of those 8-6 teams in the AFC. Jets, Commanders, that's the shit bowl. Bills, Chargers, also Saturday night. Can they continue to roll out in LA? Lions, Vikings. Do the Vikings? Is there a chance here for the Vikes? Not really. They're 3 games back. That would take a lot, but it would be a good win for the Vikings. And the Lions got to go to Minnesota for that game. Browns, Texans, huge game. There's some big matchups. Seahawks, Titans, both those teams are going to need wins. Colts, Falcons. Again, both teams, the Falcons are a little more out of it. Yeah, they're 6-8, but not out of it. They're only 1 game back in their division. There's some great matchups with some really important stuff next week. Jags, Bucks in the hunt now. Cowboys, Dolphins, we talked about. How did Patriots, Broncos on Christmas Eve not get flexed out? I thought they flexed that out. Am I losing it? Am I high? Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? Saturday. Why doesn't it tell me what's playing? What is going on? It's not even on the schedule. It's not even on the schedule here on NFL Sunday Night Football schedule. I think that got flexed. Sunday, September 24th. No, still there. NFL Network. I mean, not a lot of people are going to be watching football Christmas Eve, I don't think. And then Christmas Day, Raiders, Chiefs. Giants, Eagles, Ravens, Niners, Monday Night Football. That's a good one. Monday night. Yeah. Okay. I'm just fucking babbling at this point. Let's move on. Let's keep this going. Let's talk about a team that's not letting me down. Speaking of getting fucking sucked in, I'm sucked in. I've got this belief that the Flyers are gonna make the playoffs too. Can't wait to get my heart ripped out on this one too. But the Flyers are on an 8-game point streak. 8-game point streak dating back to November 30th when they lost in overtime to the Flyers. Every game since then, they have recorded a point for us. So they are now up to second in the division, or in the division. I guess that's what. Yes, division. The Metropolitan Division. They held a 1-point lead over the Islanders, and then if you look at the wild card, they also, if they would fall out of the wild card leaders are the Red Wings at 34 points, along with the Hurricanes at 30 points. Flyers 37 points. 37 points thus far. They may have finished with around 37 points last year. Let me look at that. Yeah. How about this? The Flyers, way ahead of schedule, I think you would say. And now battling for a playoff spot. 75. So it turns out there's a lot of points in an NHL season. I didn't even remotely consider that. Well, yeah, 37. We're pretty fucking close. Fucking idiot. 37 versus fucking. They had 78 and they suck dick. But this past week, so lose a heartbreaker to the Preds on Tuesday early in the week. Battled back to get that game into overtime. Did score a goal in the third to send that to overtime. And then just a gutty win against the Caps. What goes to shootout? They get down multiple times. They're down through the game, and they're down and force the overtime, and then hold on in overtime and win in the shootout. And then we get a shutout from Samuel Ersson. Ersson? Is it Ersson? Is that how you say it? In a 1-0 win over the Red Wings. Things are good. Things are looking good right now. How long will that last? Nobody knows. Again, I'm going to reference this. The goal differential. In the Metropolitan Division, there are two teams with +1, the Hurricanes and the Devils. They have a +1 goal differential. The leading Rangers have a +16 differential. The Flyers +11. Nobody else above board. The team chasing the Flyers right behind. The Islanders -6. And then the Caps, who aren't out of it, -11. Now you go over to the Atlantic, which I think if I had to guess here, is a little bit of a better division. You got all the top teams in that division: the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, the Panthers, the Red Wings. All have plus differentials. Oddly enough, so do the Senators, who are 11-14. Apparently, have not lost an overtime game this year. A little 0 at the end there, so you get a real indication what the record is. It's funny. Like the Flyers are 17-10-3, so they're 17-13. This is hockey math going on here. The next place team in the division, the Islanders, are 14-8-8, so 14-16, and they fall ahead of three teams with winning records, like legit winning records. The Devils are 16-11-1. The Caps are 14-9-4, so 16-12 and 14-13. And the Hurricanes, I skipped the Hurricanes, are 16-12-2, so 16-14. Very interesting. Coming up this week, the Devils head to New Jersey, the Dirty Jers, home of one Matt Waiter. Maybe the only good thing to come out of New Jersey. Well, Pork Roll's pretty good. So head there. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week. Friday, play host to the Preds, see if maybe we can get that heartbreaker back. And then Friday, on the back-to-back, head to Detroit, to the home of the Red Wings. So, yeah. Not the easiest week. I wouldn't say there's a cupcake in there, but winnable games. Not like we're playing it's not the Bruins and the Maple Leafs, or if you head out to the West, it's not the Jets, who are incredible right now, or Vegas or Vancouver. So a winnable week. Keep that point streak going. That'd be pretty cool. If you keep the point streak going, that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Go Flyers. Hashtag let's go Flyers. Fight game time. The first time in a long time, Fights getting their own dedicated segment again. Check that out. UFC 296 was this weekend. It was pretty good. Pretty good. The main event was kind of lackluster, you could say. It lacked a certain pizzazz that you had seen throughout the rest of the card. Even the undercard fights, Cody Garbrandt got a hell of a knockout win over Brian Kelleher in the fight of the night. And, maybe I heard, I don't watch a ton of UFC to know the fight of the year stuff, but I mean, maybe one of the best fights I watched. And, the announcers were saying possible fight of the year candidate. Irene Aldana and Carol Rosa go the distance, and Irene Aldana picks up the win after getting the absolute fuck kicked out of her leg in the first round, bounces back and just starts peppering Rosa. But fun fight there. And then to start the main card, Josh Emmett, about 2 minutes in, fucking flatlined Bryce Mitchell. Just fucking squared one up and dropped him. Got a little dicey, a little scary, a little uncomfortable. Bryce Mitchell was like fucking spasming on the ground and took a long time to get up and was on weak legs walking around in the octagon. Joe Rogan was begging for the man to get a chair. Just give him a chair. He was begging for a chair for Bryce Mitchell. Hopefully everything's okay, because that was fucking crazy. Just fucking starched him, flatline, murder, whatever you want to call it. It was that. It was one of the best knockouts in fight sports I've ever seen. Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett comes out hard in the first round and then kind of holds on. It's not like Tony really had a ton of success. He kind of did in the third round a little bit, but Paddy did what he had to, and threw a lot at him in the first round. He said he blew his load on him, or I think he said blew his load or something along those. That kind of euphemism. But Paddy gets the job done. First fight he'd had in a while. So Shavkat Rachmanov kind of works his way through Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Wonderboy, accompanied to the ring by Tenacious D, Jack Black and his bandmate there. I don't know the guy's name. I should look it up. That's unkind. Tenacious D. The rock duo, Tenacious D, made up of Jack Black and Kyle Gass. So they accompanied Wonderboy to the ring, and he came out to one of their songs, I think. Not positive. In the co-main, Pantejo took down Brandon Royval, controlled most of that fight, I believe. And then in the main event, like I said, a little lackluster, goes the distance, 5-round decision. Leon Edwards wins 4-1 on all three judges' scorecards. The only other round you can make an argument for Colby was the fourth round, and I think you'd have to be saying he just looked better than what he did in the first 3 rounds. A very, 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 very odd decision by Colby in the way he fought this fight. He didn't apply pressure. He didn't kind of use his famous gas tank. To me, it looks like he was very scared of what was going to be coming back at him by Leon Edwards. He talked a lot of shit, as he always does, before this fight. Said some shit about Leon Edwards' father. And I think he was kind of hoping he had Leon all fired up and wanted him to come in and make the mistake. And Leon didn't do it. Leon didn't get like over aggressive and didn't leave himself open. Colby hadn't fought in close to 2 years. He kind of mentioned that in the post fight. I'm a big believer in fight sports. You got to stay active to stay sharp and stay good. There's not many people who can, who can be great fighting once a year or once every 18 months. So Leon gets the win. Colby did have some success in the 5th round, and I think the 5th round showed the blueprint. Like, if you do that, if he starts doing that in the 1st or 2nd round, there's a path to victory for him. I mean, he was saying in the post fight, easiest fight of my career, and I think Colby is. I think he's playing a character. First of all, I think he's a blowhard, and he was saying that to say, but I don't think he was super wrong. It sounded like he was really taxed. That said, Leon's takedown defense and his. The times he was on the ground with him, he didn't get completely overwhelmed. Colby ended up getting the advantage, but it wasn't like he was just taking him to the ground at will and just fucking dominating him. It was a work to get him there. That said, he slowly started to get the advantage. So I think he's going to look back and be like, fuck, man, I had a path to beat this. But Leon, all credit to Leon Edwards. That was a classy win. Looking forward, UFC's done for the year. The next one is going to be Sean Strickland and Dracus Duplessis. Dracus Duplessis, is that what it's called? Is that his name? Dracus Duplessis. So that's going to be in January. Those two got a little bit of a scrum in the crowd. They were sitting kind of close to each other. I'm sure not by accident. And next thing you know, Sean Strickland's waving a kid off, and he said he's fucking coming through. Then February is Alexander Volkanovski for $298. $299 is Sean O'Malley and Marlon Vera. And do they have anything at $300 yet? No. So, I don't know when my next UFC might be. I don't know. Maybe I'll do Strickland. Who knows? What else is on? They only have one other. They don't have anybody else on the card. This weekend, a boxing card with a lot of good fighters. I don't know if there's a lot of good fights. There are a lot of interesting fighters. It's going to be headlined by Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin took Tyson Fury and gave him everything he wanted and then some. The co-main, Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker. Again, they're not bad fights. They're not great fights. Next up, Dimitri Bivol versus Lyndon Arthur for Bivol's WBA lightweight title. I have no idea who Lyndon Arthur is. Again, Dimitri Bivol, good fighter, maybe not a good fight. Daniel Dubois will fight Gerald Big Baby Miller, who was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua a number of years ago, back in 2018. That was when Andy Ruiz subbed in and knocked out Joshua. And Frank Sanchez and Philip Hergovich also on the card. So I might get that. That's a possibility. 10:30 in the UK, I think, is when they're expecting the main event. So afternoon, I think they said it was going to be $40 here in the US. So could be into that. I could be into that. We'll see how I'm feeling. So, all right, that was a fight segment, a dedicated fight segment this week. Time for some passing thoughts. Let's start with a couple other sport things. Just a couple quick things in here. The Tar Heels, the UNC Tar Heels, the basketball team. Tough one. Tough loss against Kentucky. Played them tough. That was a great basketball game. I don't know how often UNC and Kentucky have been playing, but when they do, over the last 10 to 15 years here, they have some great games. And this was no exception. This was a great, high-quality basketball game. R.J. Davis played incredible ball. What did his stat line end up looking like? 27 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Not too bad. Cormac Ryan, 20 points himself. Armando Bacot, not great. Not a great performance out of him. Just 9 points and 6 rebounds. So it was a good one. Carolina had trailed by 10 plus points multiple times in the game. Got it down to 2 at halftime. Got it to did they even take the lead at one point in the second half? maybe just for a little bit. But a great game, fun to watch. I know they've lost the last 2 games, but they've played 2 very good teams tough. The hits do not stop coming. Into town on Wednesday comes Oklahoma. I was going to sing that song, but I remembered I don't know any of it. So they have Oklahoma coming to town on Wednesday. Then they're off for a little bit till after Christmas, and they get Charleston Southern. Fun fact on NCAA 2K5, I started my dynasty with Charleston Southern and took them to the promised land and won a national title. Broderick Causey was my leading scorer. I think he averaged like 32 a game one year. So, fun fact. So, yeah, other basketball related, Draymond Green is just swinging for the fucking fences and has been suspended indefinitely. Because, of course, fucking Draymond Green has been suspended indefinitely for fucking throwing a punch. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. It's great. Other sports. Are there any other sports? Here, we'll do this. Chip Kelly was given an interview or doing a press conference or something. And he gave like a very good and thoughtful answer. I mean, it's fantasy, obviously, because it's not going to happen because there's a lot of barriers to break down. But I thought it was a great idea. And I mean, the main points were NCAA football needs to separate itself out from the conference alignments of the other sports. And he's like, it's stupid that UCLA is going to be in the Big Ten and they're going to go play fucking Penn State and Maryland and Rutgers and shit, even Michigan and Michigan State. He's like, UCLA should play Arizona. They should play Arizona State, USC, etc. And that makes all the sense in the world for in softball and baseball and golf and tennis and wrestling and all this other shit. Nailed it. Point, absolutely. He's like, fucking Notre Dame does it. Why can't everybody do it? So then his point was you have a 64, and he's like, fuck it, you want sponsorship money? You don't have a 1AA and or an FCS and an FBS. You have the Amazon League and the Nike League. So there's more money to be made. You group everybody together, 264, one's the top level, one's the bottom level. Now you group it as a TV deal of the whole bunch. Okay, there's a reason that. And then he's like, then you break it up. And you break it up regionally. And you have a Northwest or a Southwest or a Central, and you play 7 games against these guys, and you play a couple of games against the Northeast or the Southwest. I really encourage you to go look at it. And he's like that. And then we pay the players. He's like, we get rid of NIL, and we pay the players from the school. It was a really good, thoughtful, well-articulated position. So, yeah. Outkick tweeted it 20 hours ago today. 12/16/23 at 8:14 p.m. Outkick tweeted it, a video. It was very good. Very, very good. Now, that's it. We're not too far from that. There's the SEC and the Big Ten are huge. And the ACC is going to get gobbled up sooner or later. So, but very well said. I saw this. I'm watching the UFC, and they're doing something, and they just showed like these dudes like riding in a big tanker, like in the air, like one of the plane tankers, refueling fighter jets. And I'm like, we fucking refuel planes in the air. We fucking refuel planes in the air. And then I saw this thing on Twitter. It was a tweet. It was like, I was talking to my mom, and she's like, the Roman Colosseum, still around from Rome. What have we ever created in this country except for middle management jobs? Fucking airplanes that fill other airplanes up with gas in the air. The Sphere, Lambeau Field, the Rose Bowl. Someone's like, oh, we went to the moon in 1972. Yeah, did we? Yeah, maybe. I think we did. But maybe we didn't. But fucking airplanes? Yeah, just because something's not going to literally last. It's like, yeah. I think someone would take that fucking middle management job over living in a city where the shit probably is flowing down and there's fucking murder contests in that giant stadium to keep you happy because you don't own anything because you're a fucking bitch. Also, I'm talking into a fucking computer, and then I'm going to put this out onto fucking cell phones or another computer, and someone's going to listen to it. So yeah, I think we fucking created some stuff too. Like, that's fucking stupid. Ding dongs. 25th, 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party. I saw that. I didn't check. I got it. Let me do my own research here to make sure that I am correct. I am correct in that. December 16th of 1973. By my math, that was in fact 250 years ago. So one of the key moments in the lead up to the American Revolution. Obviously throwing the tea into Boston Harbor, protesting some taxes that had been levied onto the colonists. I'm just scanning through my pictures, see if I took any good pictures here. Oh, here's a good one. Northwestern employs one administrator for every 2 undergrads. One administrator for every 2 undergrads. Not someone who's even teaching these fucking college students. You wonder why fucking college is so expensive. It's because they've added 400 new administrators since 2013. 400. That's 40 a year. What the fuck do you need 40 administrators a year? College is so fucking broken in our country. And there's fucking losers who are like, oh, if you don't go to college, you're a loser. No, you're a fucking loser for suggesting that. Southwest Airlines has now been getting some praise in the TikTok world in the Fat Traveler section for allowing overweight flyers to purchase one seat and then get another complimentary. They are suggesting that you buy 2 seats and then they will comp you back at the end. But if you were to ask the day of, they'll try and accommodate you the best they can. And there did say something in that article about the possibility of someone being bumped off the flight because someone's fat ass can't fit in 2 seats. So do I get a fucking... Sure, I get... did I talk about this already? When was this? Wednesday? No, yeah, I haven't talked about this. I almost thought I talked about it on last week's pod. Like, should I get fucking a seat because I'm fucking 6'4"? And I can't fucking fit my fucking knees are in my chest if I sit in economy? Fucking plus-size TikTok influencers. What a fucking joke that is, first of all. Like, fuck off. How about you pay fucking triple for the inconvenience you have caused everybody on that flight? Fucking smacking your fat ass off everybody as you go down the row. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. Ooh, deep breaths. Deep breaths are good. Saw my first Masters commercial today. That made me happy as the game of golf has gotten ever and ever bit more ruined. Which leads me to this. There was some reports that the PGA Tour has got some private equity money from a group led by John Henry. He owns the Red Sox and the Fenway Group, which owns a number of pro sports teams. Arthur Blank was also in the group of people that are going to contribute $3 billion to the PGA Tour as they try and kind of combat LIV and the PIF, the PIF. They own the Red Sox, Liverpool, Pittsburgh Penguins, the TGL Boston team, Fenway Park, obviously. RFK Racing, the Worcester Red Sox, the Salem Red Sox, Fenway Sports Management, New England Sports Network, MGM Music Hall at Fenway. So they're going to be involved in contributing money to the PGA Tour. There's no exact terms of how it is, and they say they still want to get the PIF involved and to kind of match that amount. So no one knows where this is going, obviously, but the way we have grown to know the pro game of golf is done. I mean, there's almost almost no chance that anything resembling the way the game of golf has been played on the professional level is going to stay remotely the same. Liv's going to be around for at least 2024, and the longer it takes, the PGA Tour and the PIF, what's his Excellency Hasir Rama, what's his name? Homeboy just wants a membership at why can't I? Homeboy just wants a membership at Augusta, and that's what this is all about. It's kind of the joke, right? So, what's his name? Is that Al-Rahman Mayan? Whatever. So, I mean, these private equity guys aren't into losing money. They're not just going to come in and be like, here's $3 billion. Just go do the shit you've been doing. Like, the PGA Tour's run out of money. And like, this isn't just going to be like, oh, they're just going to fund us to do the exact same stupid shit we've been doing. And trying to, Boomer is upset about something. And just try and, keep funding these tournaments where we invite 150 people and try and just keep banging up the purses and keep asking our sponsors for more money, like Wells Fargo, who have said, we don't have money to do this. We're not giving you $25 million for a product that like 2 million people on a good Sunday watch. Maybe it's more. But it's a niche sport. It's not the NFL. It's not the NBA. I think there have been some guys like on the PGA Tour have gone around and be like, oh, I'm the 150th ranked player in the PGA Tour. Like, this is what the 150th NFL player makes or the 150th NBA player makes. It's like, dude, in what fucking world are you comparing yourself to them? Like, it's just not real. So, like, I think even with this money, the PGA Tour is going to change drastically because these guys are going to be like, we want fucking returns. Like, get us our money back. Private equity is not into making money like over 30 years either. Like, they like to make their money like quickly. So there's going to be a change, a big one. And I think a lot of these guys, and they've been signing their names to a lot of shit about how the tour's leadership has let them down. And hey, the tour's leadership probably has. But those dudes on the PGA Tour money list, year in and year out from like 75 and up, you guys are like, they're fucked, man. Like, the world where they're making the kind of money they're making when no one's coming to see them specifically. Like, they're part of the group that you're going to see. But, like, if you ask people what you're going to a PGA Tour event for, it's Rory McIlroy, it's Scotty Scheffler, it's Justin Thomas, it's Jordan Spieth. Really outside of that, who do they say? Maybe Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele? Yeah, maybe. I doubt it, though. But, like, it's Rahms and Brysons and Dustin Johnsons and Brooks Koepkas and Phil Mickelsons, who are in Live now. And, in the past, it was guys like Sergio and Patrick Reed, but they're has-beens too. But Liv's got, like, of the top, biggest 15 to 20 guys, Liv's got close to half of them now. And it's not like people are showing up to see, I don't know, Wesley Bryan is even on the tour now, but, like, Ches Reavie was a guy who signed a letter recently. Like, no one's showing up to a golf tournament to see Ches Reavie. So, so the face of professional golf is going to look vastly, vastly different. I think that's everything. Oh, no, one more thing. Warzone might be back. All right, that's what we'll leave you with. Let's go shut this thing down. Closing time, everybody. Thank you again for another great week. Appreciate the support. Appreciate all you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks to producer Kevy as always. And again, just thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the support. We're back next week. I hope. It's fucking Christmas next week on Monday. I'm going to figure something out. Even if I have to like record something like early in the week and just bullshit for like 20 minutes. I'm also kicking around the idea of just doing audio only next week, because then I can do it all by myself. I can kind of do it on my own. I don't have to put that burden on producer Kevin to try and help me get it out. So there could be, if it's video, it probably is going to be like pre-recorded. If I go audio only, I'll probably do something, later Christmas Day and pop it out, late that night. I'll just do something. So I'm going to try and have something. I'll figure something out. There will be something will come out next week. So till then, peace.